Balaram, when thinking about purpose, I wouldn't look at it as a destination. I would call the current draft my, like, I don't know, second draft. Like, I think that the idea, the reason that it's so powerful for me is that it allows me to make connections between what I do on a daily basis and my understanding of what I want my life to include in the long run, right? And I think in that statement, like, I recognize that as a human being, I change on a daily basis. And I would imagine you too, Balaram, like, as you get older, your interests are going to change, your life circumstances are going to change, what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis now is going to be very different on what you're going to do on a day-to-day basis 10 years from now. And so I think that habit of thought, like recognizing purpose, is a framework, not necessarily a destination. It's a process, right? And so I guess those are three things that come to mind. In terms of the framework for the hierarchy of needs, I would call the question that he's asking right now a question about, on the second level, if we think about belief and hope, motivation and goals, strategies, and then on the bottom level is content. Like, Balaram's asking this question about that second level. How do we create strong narratives for ourselves that can help guide long-term development, right? And I the point of setting aside ritual space is really an invitation to make that a central component of the educational experience. And this goes back to some of the comments that we've made with Steve, right? The student makes the school doesn't make the student. When Balaram asked this type of question, he may be able to finish a number of degrees without ever asking this type of question. The challenge in that, though, is that when he finishes and then launches, etc., at some point he may get to a space where he asks, like, what is this all for? And I think that's why it's so important on a day-to-day basis to set that aside and recognize, like, a fundamental component of hard work is for us to know, for each of us individually to understand, like, why is this work worth it? Why is it even worth? Why do I exist? Like, why do I want to spend all this time doing these random acts? Why do I breathe, right? And so I think from that standpoint, like, just the fact that he's carving out space is a huge, huge step in that process. At least it was for me. And this does